Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip from Confident Fearless Worthy, one of my favorite fat activists, teaching us what fat phobia really is. She goes on to explain that weight gain isn't actually caused by what you eat and how you exercise, but rather through environmental factors including trauma and a bunch of other stuff that is outside of your control. Classic. Please be sure to check out my second channel called Cynical Reacts, where I react to content that is not related to fat acceptance. I recently released a video on that channel about how JoJo Siwa has lost her damn mind. Here's a link. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
I do want to verbalize, because I don't know where people are pulling this out of their fucking ass, that I'm fat phobic.
Okay, that was Leo Skeppy, who I recently made a video about. He said it's not the clothes that weren't flattering, babe. It was the body, and then he got attacked by a bunch of fat activists, including Tess Holliday.
Over the past couple of days, it's become very clear to me that some of you don't understand what fat phobia is, which is wild because of how many amazing and wonderful people are talking about it.
What? Yeah, all the people talking about it all the time sure are amazing and wonderful, and they're so upbeat and positive. How could we not understand their messaging?
Sharing things about it on this app, but it is concerning, to say the least.
Yeah, man, I was really shocked to discover the amount of idiots that don't know what fat phobia really means.
It's between Leo's videos that have come to the surface, Leo's mom in my comment sections.
What? How the hell would Leo Skeppy's mom find you or your videos?
And in other creators' comment sections. And the amount of comments on Samira's video that I just stitched, it is apparent to me that y'all don't like being called fat phobic.
That's what you get from the various comments telling you that you're full of BS?
But then we'll go on to say the most fat phobic and egregious things.
Okay.
So where is the disconnect happening?
You don't need to wag your finger at me and come at me like a freaking angry mother, dude. Calm down.
Loves, to say that you're not fat phobic, but then in the same breath say that fat people have to deal with the consequences of their choices, and also to say that fat people are eating themselves to death. And that's not fat phobic?
No. Saying that you are overweight because of your own actions and that it is a deadly disease is not fat phobic. Nobody became obese from something that somebody else did, and it is bad for you, so...
However, I do think that part of the reason for the confusion is that because you all believe that what he's saying is factual.
There's no confusion here. When somebody disagrees with you, it's not because they're some sort of stupid moron who can't understand your position. It's because they think that your position is dumb and they disagree with it.
You all believe that fat people are only fat due to a result of their own personal choices.
Well, I don't believe that anybody is obese because of society. That's for damn sure. I wasn't overweight previously due to anybody's decisions but my own. It was all me, baby.
And that if fat people want things to be different, well, then they just need to lose weight. If you don't like the consequences of being fat, maybe you should do something about it.
Maybe you should do something about it. I love it when she starts acting like a little kid.
But who else is supposed to do something about it other than you, if your weight is causing you problems?
However, that stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of what fatness actually is.
A fundamental. Okay.
And what causes people to be fat. This is from Jen the Dietitian on Instagram.
A valid source of information.
And these are the 3 factors that most people believe determines your weight.
Diet, exercise, and willpower. Well, there is a certain amount of willpower involved to eat healthy food, not eat unhealthy food, and also to show up at the gym every day to exercise. Yeah, that is requiring willpower.
A direct result of your personal choices and the amount of willpower you have. And so I believe that, like Leo, who is a former fat person, a lot of people think that fat people just don't have enough willpower.
Okay, well, if Leo is a former fat person, then I think that he would know what it takes to lose weight because he did it. So when he says it's willpower, He's correct. It's really weird for somebody who hasn't accomplished a thing to question the people that have, right? What would you know?
And that is especially why former fat folks love to hate on fat people, because they think, well, I had the willpower to lose weight, I was able to lose weight, and all of these people are just sitting around. They don't have the same amount of willpower, and they believe that they are better than current fat people because of that.
I don't think people that have lost weight think that they're better than anybody, even if they do say that it's a matter of willpower. They're just sharing their experience about how they lost weight.
Because it was hard for them to lose weight, but they made different choices, and they were able to lose weight. And so if they can do it, everyone else can.
Everyone else can. So you think that everybody else can't? Okay, your bitterness is showing again.
Except there are many more factors.
Okay, so you just ignore the fact that people have lost the weight and have given you many tips on how to achieve it as well, and you just pull up this stupid pie chart that literally means nothing.
That determine your weight than just these three things.
Okay, let's take a look here. We've got environment, sleep, weight cycling, mental health. What do you mean weight cycling? Weight cycling determines your weight? No, weight cycling happens because you eat whatever type of food to make you bigger, and then you lose some weight, and then you eat more food that makes you bigger, and then you lose some weight. So that's what determines your weight? What? I love how diet is just a tiny little slice right here. Medical conditions, cooking skills / time.
So we don't know how to cook and we don't have any time? Learning how to make some basic dishes is not difficult at all. You can look up on YouTube how to make an omelet and other stuff like that.
Trauma, race and ethnicity, medications, gut microbiome. Yeah, you know what changes your gut microbiome? When you eat different types of food. Financial resources. I was too poor to eat healthy. Stress, and for some reason the largest piece here is genetics. That's real weird. So Leo Skeppy was genetically fat before, and then his genetics changed and he lost weight. That's weird. So he had to go to the lab and have some of his genes sliced out and replaced with other genes, and that facilitated his weight loss. Saying that such a large chunk of it is genetics is real dumb, considering how many people have lost weight. They were formerly fat, sometimes even their whole lives, and then they lost weight. So what happened? Their genetics changed?
And as you can see, there are some factors that you do have personal direct control over.
I disagree. None of this is my fault. You know who I blame for this? Everyone but me.
And there are some that you don't.
That's weird because everybody that lost weight was able to overcome all of those environmental factors that you made up.
And some of the things that you might have direct control over are also impacted by things like systemic oppression.
I love how she gets all cocky when she says that. Like, systemic oppression, like it's all valid. It's literally the dumbest nonsense I've ever heard in my life, but you're all cocky about it.
For example.
Well, all the other people managed to get past the systemic oppression to lose the weight. So, you want to be oppressed so bad.
And I know that you have been told this your entire life. We've all been told that for our entire lives. But what do you think the reason for that is, my loves?
My love, the reason is because it's valid. That's why you've been told that your whole life. That thing on the right is just a coping scale
that gets more sad and weird as it goes on.
If you came up with all these excuses for why you couldn't accomplish anything in life, it's very likely that you wouldn't accomplish it. You've given up before you even tried.
It's not like the diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry or anything.
It's not like the food industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry or anything.
It's not like the medical industry partnered with the insurance industry to change the requirements for BMI overnight because...
It's not like you guys are the biggest customers, pun intended, of the medical industry or anything.
They did. You can look that up. I think at the end of the day, most people know that fat phobia is a bad thing, and they don't want to be called it.
You're right. I don't want to be called fat phobia. It's almost as bad as being called fat phobic.
But at the same time, they don't want to examine their own behaviors or things that they say that directly contribute or are anti-fat.
No, it's just real dumb to call people bigots because they said that weight loss is possible.
Because for most people, then that would have to shift your whole entire worldview about who you think is worthy and deserving of things and who isn't.
Well, if you acknowledge that where you are today is the result of your own actions, then you'd have to shift your whole worldview and take accountability. Apparently, it's easier to do countless mental gymnastics to try to make everything about yourself somebody else's fault than to just accept the truth. Real bizarre.
Like clothes or airplane seats.
Airplane seeds.
And so no, fat phobia isn't about being afraid of fat people. It's about not seeing fat people as full-fledged, nuanced human beings. It is a system that is designed.
She sounds like Morpheus, like teaching Neo about the Matrix. It is a system. It is all around you. It is everywhere, and it is nowhere.
Like with all other systems, to keep certain people in power and with privilege.
The thin people. Yep. Dang it. It's weird to talk about power and privilege when you have the power and privilege to eat until you were morbidly obese.
It's about accessibility, affordability, and the stereotypes that we learn about certain groups of people.
It's about personal accountability if we want to actually grow as a human being, pun intended.
In order to keep the system running. So if you don't understand what that means, then I highly suggest you start listening.
And then she wrapped it up by being all condescending and acting like we're morons. That's very ironic that you think the rest of us are idiots because we can't wrap our heads around this concept of fat phobia. It seems like you and other people in your group can't wrap your heads around the concept of personal accountability. I want to make a pie chart showing like how my alcoholism is not my fault. Partially genetic, it's partially environment. I walked past that liquor store one time. That's the real problem. There shouldn't be a liquor store right there. The old pie chart of delusions. Classic. So I disagree with everything that she said, of course. It's not fat phobic to say that weight loss comes from your own personal actions. These people are literally just coping by making up all these bizarre pie charts. So what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Do you agree with her? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below. Happy Thursday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.